Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, playing a bit of Kill Confirmed here on the map Bog, using the MP5 submachine gun, which is something I never use on the map Bog, but it's actually one of my favorite ways to play on Bog now. So the title of this video, Rushers versus Campers, which one is right? It's a debate as old as time itself. You will always have people on either side, just they're dug in their trenches, and they will never agree with the other side, it would appear. But for me, I've always been pretty in the middle, right? I just really don't care about the entire debate, the entire argument. Like, if you want to rush around all the time, I'm all for that. If that's how you like to play, that's awesome. If you're somebody who likes to sit back a lot more, maybe use a light machine gun, maybe use a sniper rifle, I am perfectly okay with that as well, assuming, of course, you're trying to win the game. Like, that's always been my thing. When I play Call of Duty, or I play video games in general, I want to win. Like, that's the whole point. Like, if you're playing a Call of Duty match, the only objective is to win the game, right? That's what everybody should be there to do, at least in my opinion. Sure, you can have fun by running around with whatever guns you want or whatever, but as long as you're trying to win, that's what I feel as though everybody should try to do, and that's what makes the game more fun, in my opinion. And I've seen a lot of complaints from people saying it's too difficult to rush in this game, that Modern Warfare Remastered is a camp-heavy game. And I can definitely see where they're coming from. I definitely can. Like, with the improved hit detection, because we're running on some sort of a dedicated hybrid something or other system in Call of Duty, I have no idea what they're doing with that. Like, they say it's dedicated servers, but we also have host migrations, so there's kind of like a hybrid system there. I don't know what we're doing. But you see these people with M16s with this improved hit detection, and they are melting you across the map, or sniper rifles, or RPDs with stopping power just melting you. And you think to yourself, like, how do I compete with that? It's so hard to rush on these maps, especially considering how big the maps themselves actually are. But here's the thing. I feel as though the maps in Modern Warfare Remastered, and obviously Call of Duty 4, are amazing for all playstyles. Like, if you're somebody who loves to rush, if you're an SMG guy, you like to be in the thick of things, these maps are great for that. If you're somebody who likes to sit back and snipe, you can actually sit back and snipe and have a lot of distance between you and your opponent. Like, the lines of sight on this game are bigger than most maps in newer Call of Duty games. Like, I'm thinking of the big line of sight you can have on Ambush, or the line of sight if you're going across the entire creek bed on Overgrown, or maybe Block when that actually comes to the game later on this month. Like, there's so many long lines of sight and maps that are just giant that you can really effectively snipe in this game. Also use your M16 or your AK-47. There are also a bunch of maps where you can use shotguns pretty effectively. For example, Vacant is my favorite map to shotgun. I go inside that building and it is just, it's open season in there, man. So much fun. And the point I'm trying to make here is you can rush, you can camp, you can do whatever you want on these maps, because they really do cater to just about every play style in the game. They're bigger, sure, but there's also ways for you to rush, and it's more satisfying if you can rush well on maps that are this big. I think if you've played a lot of the recent Call of Duty games, you may have been spoiled a little bit if you were a rusher, right? Because you have all these rusher-friendly perks going on. You have the ability to run on walls or take secret routes. For example, like in Black Ops 3, there's a couple maps where you can take these secret routes to get to other ends of the map, or you had the ability to slide and jump and dash and do all kinds of things, right? And here in Modern Warfare Remastered, you feel slower, like by default, because you're not used to that. And then you look at how big the maps are, you're like, how am I supposed to rush? But you can, and you're watching me do it here in this gameplay. Like, I'm playing on Bog, which is notorious for being a sniper map or an M16 map. I am rushing forward, throwing stuns left and freaking right, because I'm not high enough level to have Bandolier yet, so I have to use something, and they actually come in handy when you're facing snipers. And I'm just trying to rush forward. I'm using Juggernaut, so I can't be sniped unless they hit me in the head or the upper chest, depending on their sniper. And I do my best to rush, and it works out. This is actually my favorite way to play on Bog. Like, I was playing with subscribers this afternoon, which I typically do. I play with subs pretty often via Twitter, if you guys don't know. I put out a tweet and ask if you guys want to play. If you guys want to play, you send me a message. I invite you. We go play, and it's fun. And so we're playing, and we played Bog. It had to have been like 6 or 7 times today, and every single time I was just rushing with an MP5 Juggernaut instead of trying to use an M16 or a sniper, because I like the challenge of trying to rush on a map like Bog, right? And I also like the idea of trying to use, my friends and I used to do this, like, we would rush really hard on the big maps, but the really small maps like Vacant, then we would be like, okay, well, let's snipe on Vacant, because it's gonna be harder, you know, just to challenge ourselves a little bit. And I love the fact that you have the availability to do both of those things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people are still going to hate you for however you decide to play. Like, if you're somebody rushing around with a submachine gun with Juggernaut, there's a big portion of the community that hates that playstyle. If you're somebody who's sitting back with an RPD or a SAW or a sniper, people hate you for doing that too, right? Rushers will always hate campers. Campers always hate rushers. But the thing is, like, I don't really like those labels. Like, to me, camping has really lost most of its meaning in the Call of Duty franchise. I feel as though when people say someone else is camping, most of the time, that's like just an excuse they have for why the guy killed them. Like, oh, that guy's just camping in the window. It's like, well, is he? Or did he just like sit down for a second? Like, what is camping? How you define camping? For me, camping is when you are playing an objective game mode and you are just sitting back for kills and you don't care at all about actually playing the objective or whether or not you're going to win. In fact, the thing that infuriates me the most about Call of Duty is those rare lobbies. They don't happen all the time, but they do happen, where I'm playing Domination, for example, and everybody on the other team is just putting up kill streaks constantly. They're doing very well. They're all positive, but they're losing by about double their score because they're basically playing team deathmatch in objective game mode. Like, that happens on occasion, and I hate it so much. Like, it's just, we're all negative, we're all dying a bunch, and no one's having fun, but we're winning by 80 points in a game of Domination. I hate that. Or, if you're playing Search and Destroy, and you have that guy who camps on offense in the back of his spawn because he just wants to get a bunch of kills, and inevitably, he loses 4-0, but that one guy goes like 15-4 or something like that because he camped the entire game. Like, I hate that so freaking much. It's like, play the objective. Going back to the beginning of the video, for me, it always comes back to that context of everybody should try to win the game. If everybody does that, then everything is going to fall into place on its own. But of course, that's not the world we live in. People do whatever they want, and so I really don't know how to define rushers versus campers. Like, which one is the correct way to play? For me, play however you freaking want, assuming, of course, you're trying to win the game. If you are sitting in the back of the map, sniping people as they try to run to B, and your team is winning, keep on sniping, man. You're helping us back there. You're keeping them down. I love that. I love you for being back there sniping. If you're somebody who's constantly pushing up into their spawn, taking them out, trying to get kill streaks, and we're still winning, good on you, man. I'm happy you're rushing forward. If you're camping back with an M16 and we're winning, I don't care. But if you're camping back like with an M16 and, you know, you are, I'm just making up numbers, if you're like 40-7 or something like that, and your only captures are your own back flag and you're losing by a bunch of points, it's like, I realize you're a good player. You're getting a bunch of kills. You're great. Push up for the objective. Like, what you're doing right now is basically just playing team deathmatch in objective game mode, and I hate that so freaking much. But in the entire rushing versus camping debate, I guess, again, I'm pretty much neutral. I like the camp. I do. I like to sit back with my M16 and just shoot fish in their barrel. It's freaking fun. I also like to rush up with my shotgun. That's very fun as well. Like, I like doing all playstyles. And again, going back to it, one of the greatest things about Modern Warfare Remastered is the maps are so well designed. I really feel as though these are some of the best maps in the Call of Duty franchise. They are so well designed that you can do whatever you want on these maps. Whatever playstyle you want to implement, you can do it successfully on just about every single map. Now, obviously, if you're trying to use a shotgun on Bog, you're going to have a bad time. It's going to be pretty hard, but maybe if you sit in the building a lot, it can work out for you. Like, there's always a way to play however you want, and I love that fact, right? But ultimately, there's never going to be an end to this debate. Every time you die to somebody who's rushing around, you know, scuff jumping around corners, that guy's just a rusher and you hate that guy. If you die to somebody sitting in the window with an M16, that guy's a camper and you hate him, right? Because no matter what, I've played Call of Duty for about 10 years now, guys, and I have never once died when it was my fault. I can tell you guys that for a fact. I'm sure you guys are in the same boat. You have never died when it was your fault because you are the almighty player, right? And every time you die, it is BS. And I completely agree. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please drop me a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.